My name is Faizan, and what I'm about to share isn't just a story. It's something that changed my life forever. People say time heals everything, but some memories don't fade, especially when they whisper back to you in the dead of night. It all started when I was 26. My mother had passed away a year earlier, and my father had gone long before her. I had no siblings. Alone and burned out from city life in Karachi, I decided to take a break, maybe for a few weeks, maybe longer. My parents had left behind a small house in a village near Thada. It was old, surrounded by overgrown grass and silence, but it was still livable. I hadn't visited the village in over 15 years. But the locals remembered me, especially the elder, Baba Siraj, who had known my father. "You came back," he had said, staring at me with those pale, almost clouded eyes. "This house, it remembers things." I thought it was just his age talking. I laughed, thanked him, and went on my way. The house was untouched since Amy died. Dust sat on everything. Her Quran still lay open on a pillow in the corner of her room. The smell of old wood and faint itter lingered in the air. I unpacked my things, cleaned a bit, and told myself I'd rest, right? Maybe even rediscover myself. That first night was uneventful. But the second changed everything. Around 2:30 a.m., I woke up abruptly. No sound, no wind, just stillness. But I felt something, like someone was watching me. I sat up. The air felt heavier. Then I heard it. A faint whisper. Not loud, not even clear, but definitely a voice, like someone murmuring from far away. My heart froze. I strained my ears. Nothing. I chalked it up to my imagination. Jet lag, village air, stress, anything logical. But the whispers returned the next night. This time louder. I could swear they were coming from outside the house. I stepped out into the backyard. Silence. Then a low, almost chanting-like whisper, carried faintly with the breeze. It was coming from behind the boundary wall, where the old well stood. I had almost forgotten about that well. Covered with a rusted iron lid, it had been sealed long ago, probably when I was a child. Something about it felt wrong. I went back inside, locked the doors. I didn't sleep. The next day, I visited Baba Siraj. "Baba, was that well ever used?" I asked casually. He looked at me, then away. "That well has no water," he replied slowly. "It hasn't for decades. But why is it sealed?" Baba Siraj didn't speak for a while. Then he sighed. "Some things should stay buried, Beta. Your father, he knew this. That's why he left." I felt a chill run through me. "Left? He never told you," he said, almost whispering now. "Your father saw something. In that well. Something that doesn't belong in our world." I returned home disturbed. That night, I couldn't help myself. I had to see it. I walked to the backyard with a flashlight. The air felt colder near the well. I knelt, brushing dust off the lid. My fingers trembled. Then, I heard it again. Whispers. Clear this time. It wasn't one voice, it was many. Male, female, old, young. All speaking over each other. Not loud, but constant. Like wind moving through cracked glass. I ran inside. But I couldn't sleep. For the next few days, I tried ignoring it. Prayed. Read Quran. Even asked the local imam, who came and read du'as in the house. For one night, everything was quiet. But the whispers returned the next day. Stronger. I began seeing shadows out of the corner of my eye. Figures that disappeared the moment I turned. Cold spots in the hallway. Lights flickering for no reason. One night, I dreamt I was being pulled into the well. A woman with hair over her face was climbing out, eyes hollow, mouth whispering in a language I didn't understand. I woke up screaming, drenched in sweat. That morning I made a decision. I had to open the well. Just to see. Just to prove to myself there was nothing. Biggest mistake of my life. With a crowbar and gloves, I pried open the rusty lid at sunset. The metal creaked and groaned. Finally, the lid fell to the side with a loud clang. I shone my flashlight down. It was deep, deeper than it looked. The walls were covered in old moss and black stains. But no water. Just darkness. And then something moved. Not a rat. Not a lizard. Something larger. I couldn't see it clearly. Just the shifting of shadows. And then the face. Pale. With hollow black eyes. Staring up at me. I screamed. Dropped the flashlight. It clattered down the shaft, breaking on impact. I ran. Locked myself inside the house. Recited Ayatul Kursi over and over. The whispers that night were inside the house. The next morning I packed my bag. I was leaving, but as I stepped out, Baba Siraj was waiting outside my gate. "You opened it, didn't you?" I didn't answer. My face said enough. His expression turned grave. "You don't understand," he whispered. "It's not just a cursed place. That well is a seal. Something is trapped inside. Has been for decades. Maybe longer. If it's open now." He trailed off. "What do I do?" I asked, voice cracking. He handed me a pouch with crushed herbs, surahs written on parchment, and a small bottle of ittar. "Seal it again, before it spreads." That evening, I returned to the well. But it wasn't quiet anymore. Whispers were louder now. Angry. Hateful. The ground near the well felt hot, like embers beneath the soil. I held the pouch close, repeated the verses he told me, and approached. But the lid was gone, thrown several feet away. From inside, I heard movement, like claws scraping the inner walls. And then a hand emerged. The hand rose from the well, thin, bony, the skin gray, and stretched tight over sharp knuckles. It wasn't human. Its nails were like claws, black and cracked. My legs refused to move. My body was frozen in place, my mind screaming to run. Then the hand was joined by another. And slowly, with a sickening creak, a figure began to pull itself out of the well. Its face was like the one I had seen earlier, pale, hollow eyes, mouth constantly moving, whispering. But this time, it wasn't a dream. I stumbled backward, clutching the pouch Baba Siraj had given me. I held it out in front of me, reciting the verses he'd taught. The thing paused. Its head jerked toward me. For the first time, I felt it, not just fear, but hate. Pure, cold, ancient hate. And then it screamed. Not loud, not like a human, but a low, guttural sound that made the air shiver. I collapsed to my knees, dizzy. My ears rang. The whispers grew louder, inside my head. Leave, leave. It's ours now. Somehow, I crawled back inside the house, slammed the door, and locked it. I recited everything I knew. Ayatul Kursi, Surah Al-Falaq, Surah An-Nas. Over and over. Outside, I heard footsteps. Bare feet on gravel. Then nails scratching the door. I pressed my back against it, holding the pouch tight. I could feel the evil through the wood. Heavy. Suffocating. Then, silence. It was gone. The next morning, I found claw marks all over the door. Burned into the wood. The well was open. And whatever was inside, it was free now. I went to Baba Siraj in a panic. "I need help. This thing, it's out." He didn't speak. Just stared at me. "You don't understand," I pleaded. "It came out last night. It's real. I saw it. It touched the door." Finally, he nodded. I hoped it would stay sealed. That maybe your presence wouldn't wake it. But it remembers your blood. "What do you mean?" He sat me down. "Your grandfather was the one who sealed it," he began. "Long ago. Before you were born. He wasn't just a farmer. He was a Raki, a spiritual healer. People came to him from all over Sindh. They said he could fight things that don't belong in this world." I listened in stunned silence. "There was a girl in the village," he continued. 15. Possessed by something not jinn. Something older. Her voice would change. She'd speak languages no one understood. She stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. Your grandfather tried everything. Ruqya, Quran, fasting. But it wasn't enough. So he sealed it. He trapped it. The well wasn't just a hole in the ground, it was a gateway. He used verses, blood, and earth to bind it. Your father helped him. That's why your father left. He didn't want you near it. And my mother? She knew, but she stayed.
Prayed.
Protected the house. But when she passed, he looked at me gravely. There was nothing left to keep it sealed. I knew what I had to do. I couldn't leave.
Not now.
Not when it was my family's doing. My blood had opened it. My blood would close it again. With Baba Siraj's help, I prepared. He gave me a ring with Quranic inscriptions, a cloth soaked in zamzam, and a handwritten parchment, surahs written in ink mixed with saffron and rose water. The creature isn't a jinn, he warned. It's something far older. In some cultures, they called them nakareen, whispers. They feed on memory, regret,
Doubt.
the more you fear it, the stronger it becomes. How do I stop it? You don't fight it.
You seal it.
The same way your grandfather did. That night, I returned to the well. This time, I came prepared. Salt circles. Quranic verses tied to bricks. The pouch. The ring. I even fasted all day for strength. The air around the well was thick. Not just heat. Presence. Like something ancient was watching me. I began the ritual Baba Siraj had written. Verses.
Chants.
Movements. Then I threw in the saffron parchment. The ground trembled slightly. And from the shadows, it came. The creature was fully out now.
Tall. Thin.
Hair like black smoke. Eyes empty, but glowing. Its mouth never stopped whispering. Faizan, son of Yusuf, blood of the sealer. My heart stopped. Come closer. You opened the gate.
You called me.
Let me in. I stood my ground. Held the ring up. Recited louder. It screamed again. A deep, vibrating cry that felt like it came from the earth itself. But this time, I didn't flinch. Instead, I threw the zamzam-soaked cloth at it. The moment it touched the creature, it hissed and recoiled, smoke rising from its body. I continued reciting, my voice stronger, louder. The pouch glowed faintly in my hand. You are not welcome here, I shouted. By the words of the Quran, by the seal of the Rahman, I cast you out. The creature shrieked and tried to lunge at me, but stopped midair, as if caught in an invisible wall. It began to dissolve, its skin flaking like ash. Its whispers turned to screams. And then, it fell back into the well, dragged by unseen chains of light. I rushed forward and slammed the lid shut. Then I poured salt over it, followed by soil from a nearby graveyard, as Baba had instructed. Finally, I nailed the Quranic parchments to the lid, sealed the edges with wax, and drew the final symbol my grandfather once used. It was over. The air returned to normal. The night felt real again. I collapsed to my knees.
Exhausted.
Shaking, but alive. That was 1 year ago. I sealed the well. I left the village a few weeks later, but I made sure the house was cleansed. I still wear the ring. Sometimes, I still hear whispers in my dreams, but they fade by morning. Baba Siraj passed away shortly after. In his sleep, peacefully. Before he died, he gave me a notebook, my grandfather's records. Inside are drawings, seals, symbols, and stories of others like the whisper. I don't know what it means yet, but I feel like my story isn't over. Maybe I was meant to come back. Maybe this is my purpose now. Maybe the well was just the beginning.